You don't have to be rich to have this. In this episode, I'm going to address the question, what is the rich person's Roth? It's maybe not what you think. Get ready. You're going to be blown away. My favorite vehicle knocks the socks off of any IRA or 401k, traditional or a Roth. So my name's Doug Andrew, and I've helped people prepare for long-term goals like retirement for more than 4.5 decades. And so when people have come to me, oftentimes after saving for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, most people would come into my office. They would be way too top heavy in yet to be taxed IRAs and 401ks. And I would often go, what are you thinking? Because they would be invested in the market. If you want to create predictable retirement income, you should not have your money in the market. I would recommend no more than 30% of your retirement resources be invested in yet to be taxed IRAs and 401ks in the market. I usually recommended that people start at least 5 years before retiring to get the money out of those IRAs or 401ks sooner than later, get the taxes over and done with. Even if you don't need the money, that's not the point. You want to get the taxes over and done with sooner than later in today's lower tax rates, because most people agree that tax rates in the future will likely be higher because of irresponsible government spending and the printing of money. Folks, this is just reality. Most people who put money in tax-deferred IRAs and 401ks did it because I think they were almost duped into being told they would be in a lower tax bracket when they retired. And most people who accumulate a respectable retirement nest egg are not in lower tax brackets when they retire. Only people who didn't save very much are in lower tax brackets. So why? When I ask people, how many of you think that taxes in the future will likely be lower? I get nothing but crickets. How many think they're going to be the same? 1 or 2 hands. But when I ask an audience of 2,000 people at a hotel ballroom, how many think that in the future, in the long run, taxes will likely be higher? And a sea of hands goes up. And then I ask, so why are you postponing tax to some future perceived unknown advantage? And then you're growing this nest egg and you're going to take out your money down the road at higher tax rates? That doesn't make sense. Yet 91% of Americans are still duped into putting money into tax-deferred IRAs and 401ks. Roths came out in 1997, Senator Roth. Now, if you don't know the history, the government was hard up for tax revenue. And he basically said, hey, I got an idea here. Smart Americans realize that they will likely not be in a lower tax bracket when they retire. It would be far better to pay tax on the contribution phase. Now, for years, I've used this metaphor. If you were a farmer and you had the choice of buying your seed in the springtime that you're going to plant, and you didn't have to pay tax on the price of the seed when you bought it, but you plant it, you cultivate, you irrigate, you work hard, and in the fall of life, you're ready to harvest your crop, and now you agree to pay tax on what you sell your harvest for. That's a traditional IRA or 401k. If you think taxes are going to be higher in the future, it would be far better to pay tax on the price of the seed and accumulate your money tax-free and then sell your harvest tax-free. Because if taxes go up at the rate that the General Accountability Office estimates, I can prove to you a Roth IRA or 401k will end up generating 50% more in net spendable income, or else you'll be able to go a lot longer before you run out of money compared to the same amount of money in a traditional IRA or 401k. Senator Roth said, yeah, I got an idea. Put a carrot out there and dangle it in front of people to convert, to roll over out of traditional IRAs or 401ks into Roths, and that will trigger tax. That means that they will have a huge windfall, and it was enough to be able to get the tax revenue. The government did it for their benefit, not your benefit. But it was a step in the right direction. Now, I've never owned an IRA or 401k. I never will. I've never owned a Roth IRA or 401k. I never will. Why? I'll explain next. But before I do, if this is intriguing you, share, post a comment, click like. Subscribe to this three-dimensional wealth channel because I post an in-depth answer to a financial question almost on a daily basis. And stay with me to the end because you'll be able to click on the link below and get a free copy of our most recent 300-page best-selling book, The Laser Fund, which teaches you how to diversify and create the foundation for a tax-free retirement. And you'll learn why it knocks the socks off of IRAs and 401ks and even Roth IRAs and 401ks. So back in 1997, it was called the Taxpayer Relief Act. The government was hard up for money. And so Senator Roth said, I have an idea. You can name it after me, hence the Roth IRA, and then later the Roth 401k. It flipped. It meant that you paid tax on the contributions, on the seed money. It accumulated tax-free, and when you went to retire, you could then access the money tax-free. If you believe taxes will likely be higher in the future, that can be 50% better than the same amount of money in a traditional IRA or 401k. So what are the two benefits of a Roth? You fund it with after-tax dollars, it accumulates tax-free, and you can access your money tax-free. Now, that's okay, but I've never owned one. I never will. Why? Because Roth started in 1997. My favorite vehicle is called the Laser Fund. Laser is an acronym that stands for Liquid Assets Safely Earning Returns. And it has been a sacred tax-free cash cow in the Internal Revenue Code for over 108 years, a lot longer than Roths have been around. It allows me to accumulate my money tax-free, and I can access my money tax-free. The two benefits of a Roth. But the Laser Fund has 4 additional benefits that Roths will never have. Let me outline them briefly for you. So with the Laser Fund, the third benefit Roths do not have is that during banner years, if I'm a business owner or I earn more money, I get a bonus, I can put in larger sums into the Laser Fund. See, if you make too much money, you don't even qualify for a Roth. So many savvy CPAs and tax attorneys refer to the Laser Fund as the rich person's Roth. And I snicker because you don't have to be rich to have one, but the rich can't own a Roth. They make too much money. So what does this mean? If I wanted to put in $30,000 a year, I could. I could put in $100,000. I could design it to hold $300,000. Do I have to put that much in? No. I could put in $30,000 and the other $270,000 I could have put in, I can put in any time down the road. I can make up for years that I didn't use the room that I had. With a Roth, you can't do that. You're restricted to a certain dollar amount or a certain percent of your income, and if the tax year passes, you can never make up for room. If you don't use the room, you lose it with a Roth. With a Laser Fund, I can put in large amounts, small amounts, make up for the years I didn't put in the maximum amount. It's very flexible, okay? The fourth benefit to the Laser Fund is if I need to access money for any reason, anytime, I can. There is not a 10% penalty imposed by the IRS. If you touch money in a Roth IRA or 401k within the first 5 years or before age 59 and a half, those are the strings attached that I don't like with a Roth. There are penalties. I don't want those penalties. I want flexibility to be able to access my money. The fifth benefit of the Laser Fund that Roths do not have is indexing. I can use indexing so that when the market goes up, when the economy is strong, I get to benefit. And there are many people that gain 12%, 25%, even 61% from February of 2020 to February of 2021 because of the COVID pandemic. You can take advantage of those upturns in the market when the market tanked, and then you can link. That's explained in my book that I want to gift you. So I get to use indexing for safety, and I'm preventing myself from losing due to market volatility. The last benefit, when I die, and none of us are getting out of here alive. I mean, we're going to die someday. The laser fund blossoms and transfers tax-free. So I'll just summarize it this way. Right now, I'm a month away from turning 69 years old. If I died in an accident, every million I would have in a portfolio of laser funds would blossom to about 2.5 million and transfer tax-free to my wife, to my children, to a church, a charity, whoever I want to leave it to. There's not a Roth around that will do that. And people say, well, how much does that cost? Well, nothing's free, but it doesn't cost me anything. It's coming along for the ride, so to speak, being paid for with a minuscule portion of money that would otherwise go out the window in unnecessary tax. Meaning, I would have to earn 15% in an IRA or 401k so that after tax I net 9 or 10. I only have to earn 11 to net 10 out of a laser fund. That 1% is money that would otherwise go out the window in taxes. Does that make sense? So I would rather have the 6 benefits of a laser fund, which totally dwarfs the 2 benefits that Roths have. So why would I ever want a Roth when I can have the 2 benefits of a Roth and 4 additional benefits that Roths will never have? If you want to learn more about this, I would strongly recommend that you read and study this book. I will gift it to you free. It's 300 pages. It retails for $20. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling by clicking below, and I'll fire out a copy to you of this book. It's actually 2 books in one. This white covered side is about 200 pages, 14 chapters with all the charts and graphs and explanations. If you learn more by stories and examples, you can flip the book over. Read this one, 12 chapters, 100 pages with 62 chicken soup for the financial soul stories of how many clients of ours have used the laser fund not only for retirement that knocks the socks off of Roth IRAs and 401ks, and why this is called the rich person's Roth, but also you can use it for college funding, real estate management, business working capital, emergency funds, estate planning. It's like a financial Swiss Army knife. So to diversify and create the foundation for a tax-free retirement, claim your free copy. And here is to your brighter future as you read. There's options also at laserfund.com to listen and learn and watch and learn. I want you to be empowered to be able to do something far better than following the herd in traditional IRAs and 401ks, and even better than the Roth IRAs and 401ks.